In the 21st century, the changing doctrine of warfare has moved away from heavy, cumbersome systems where humans are physically present on the battlefield. Instead, it has shifted toward unmanned, AI-driven weapons and satellite-supported systems that can avoid radar detection, with relatively small and low-cost smart weapons, sometimes costing as little as $100,000. It is now possible to destroy even a massive billion-dollar warship. This is precisely the type of the warfare doctrine that the 21st century demands and has begun to accept. It shows us that heavy, bulky systems based on the 20th century weapons are no longer effective. On the contrary, they become easy targets and can be destroyed with relative ease. Therefore, this transformation indicates that hegemonic states relying the 20th century weapon systems are being pushed toward a different position in the global geopolitics. Turkey, on the other hand, may have waited during the 20th century but appears poised to become a hegemonic power in the 21st century world. Why? I can answer this question by pointing to many smart warfare systems and the munitions developed by the Turks. For example, the TB2, it means the Bayraktar, armed drones used in the recent war in Ukraine almost changed the course of the conflict and effectively prevents Russia, despite having one of the world's largest navies, from deploying its warship in the Black Sea. However, our focus is far more strategic. ANKA III, unquestionably one of the most invisible and effective unmanned combat aerial vehicles in the world. The reason for such a bold claim is not merely to capture the audience's attention, but because, according to the laws of the physics and publicly available data, it is even more satellite and effective than an F-35. Throughout history, humanity has been in a constant state of warfare with itself. In earlier times, the size of an army, particularly the number of soldiers and cavalry, was a decisive factor. In the 20th century, one of the most important elements became fighter jets that were faster, more powerful, and carried larger piles of ammunition. However, in the 21st century, being fast or agile alone is no longer enough. Defensive systems have evolved at the same pace and can neutralize such aircraft effectively. What truly matters now is reaching the enemy target without being detected, without appearing on radar, getting right next to unnoticed. In military terms, becoming a ghost is the key. And it's precisely here that the Turkish defense industry has achieved something that has considered nearly impossible: extreme difficulty on detection. ANKA III, which has received widespread coverage in the global media, is claiming to possess the extraordinary capability. It is said that even American-made 5th-generation F-35 fighter jets and the legendary Patriot air defense system can only detect ANKA III jets when it comes to as close as nearly 30 kilometers. Is this merely an exaggerated claim promoted by the Turks, or have Turkish engineering truly accomplished this feat? And what does approaching the 30 kilometers actually mean? If you were to cover this distance in an average car, depending on road condition, it might take around half an hour to reach the destination. But if you ask a military authority what this distance means after battlefield, the answer would be clear. It means a gun is already pressing against your head. On your reaction time is no longer measured in minutes, but in the instant between the trigger being pulled on the bullet firing. So, how does an aircraft become invisible, or in other words, a ghost? Does this mean the aircraft physically disappears? Of course not. This aircraft is still here. To explain this simple way, advanced radar systems send signal in the sky, and when these signals bounce back, the returning reflections allow the radar to determine the shape, size, and the distance of an object on the air. However, the critical factor here is whether the radar signal actually returns. If you design the aircraft structure that absorbs the incoming radar waves or scatters them, much like broken glass sprays light, then the radar cannot properly receive the reflected signal. This concept is known as the radar cross-section, RCS. Like this. Radar cross-section is very effective in detecting conventional fighter aircraft such as the F-16, F-15, and the F-4. This aircraft appears as large, clear targets on radar screens. For comparison, an F-16 has a radar cross-section of approximately 5 square meters, which is an easy and simple target for modern radar systems. In contrast, satellite aircraft have a radar cross-section so small that it resembles a tiny insect or marble you may have played with as a child. Such a minimal radar signature is often ignored by radar systems or mistaken for birds or rain clouds, meaning no warning signal is generated. This is what is deemed to be physically present in the real world, yet electronically indistinguishable from a ghost. 1. F-35 or ANKA III. ANKA III, which has been described in global media as being even harder to detect than the F-35, is essentially the result of the technological design choice. The F-35 is a main fighter jet expected to perform dogfights when necessary and execute supersonic maneuvers. For this reason, it has a vertical stabilizer offering tail fins on both sides of the aircraft. Radar signals, especially when derived from the side angles, reflect strongly off such a vertical surface. While the F-35 offers excellent satellite when approached head-on, those same vertical stabilizers that provide sharp maneuverability also make it more detectable from the sides. Now, let us look at ANKA III. Its design has no tail and no vertical surfaces at all. In other words, there are vertically no protrusions from which radar waves can reflect back. In aviation, this configuration is often described as the holy grail of stealth. Designing such an aircraft is extremely difficult, and flying it's equally demanding. However, this design prevents radar reflection not only from the front, but also from the sides in addition. Turkish engineers have specifically stated that ANKA III uses a special chemical coating on this exterior that absorbs radar waves. As a result, while F-35s may appear on radar roughly the size of a golf ball, ANKA III appears no longer than a small steel marble. In radar and air defense literature, this difference is significant enough to determine whether you are the hunter or the prey. So, at what distance can the United States' world-famous Patriot air defense system detect ANKA III? Reports suggest that the Patriots can only detect ANKA III when it approaches within approximately 30 kilometers. This may seem like a long distance for a car, but when evaluated in the context of modern warfare, considering aircraft speed and technology, it effectively means you already have a gun present against your enemy's need. Imagine the battlefield scenario. You are an air defense operator watching your radar screen. At 100 km, nothing. And 70 km, nothing. At 50 km, still nothing. Then at the 30 km, a tiny disturbance appearance on the radar. So small it could be a bird or a cloud. The time available for the operator to recognize a supersonic ANKA III, look onto it and make a decision is only a few seconds. In that time, the frame ANKA III would already have destroyed the air defense system. And the truly remarkable part is this. ANKA III does not even need to enter the radar zone. It carries inside its fuselage Turkey's domestically produced the next generation Son-G cruise missiles with a range of 270 kilometers. This means it can launch its missiles from hundreds of kilometers away, well beyond a Patriot missile's range, and safely return to base. In practical terms, the air defense system would be destroyed with seconds. In another operational scenario, ANKA III can be equipped with Tolan miniature bombs, also developed by Turkish engineers. Designed for a precision strike mission with near-zero deviation, ANKA III can carry 8 Tolan bombs. If deployed in this configuration, it would be not an exaggeration to describe ANKA III as a true assassination aircraft. 2. Super Şimşek. ANKA III does not stop there. The aircraft designed almost like a weapon of death, nearly impossible to detect and optimized for precision strike operations. However, in today's world, no state fully discloses the true extent of its technological capabilities. If you suspect that the target's state possesses undisclosed high-level defense technologies, this is where ANKA III's Super Şimşek comes into play. So, how does it work? Super Şimşek is a small decoy target aircraft carrier. Under ANKA III's wings, the operational scenario worked as follows. Before ANKA III enters enemy airspace, in launches Super Şimşek. The electronic systems on board the small drone can make it appear on enemy radar as a fighter jet, a massive tanker aircraft, or even an anchor formation of combat aircraft. Naturally, radar and the air defense system detect this threat and respond by launching missiles, sometimes worth millions and in certain cases nearly billions of dollars. These missiles are completely wasted beyond the financial loss, while the air defense operators are focused on this fake attack formation. ANKA III has already executed its assassination strike and is most likely on its way back to base. For the enemy, this results not only massive missile expenditure, which in modern warfare can be economically damaging, that even if you win the battle, you may lose the war in the long term, but also in a far more critical vulnerability. While air defense radar systems are distracted by Super Şimşek, a relatively inexpensive drone, they are forced to activate and reveal their positions, abandoning their concealed location. At the moment, the exact location of all enemy radar on the air defense systems are exposed. From their ANKA III or accompanying aircraft only need to eliminate these now defenseless targets with ease. 3. Joint operation of ANKA III with KAAN fighter jet. Electronic and software level interoperability has been established between the unmanned combat aircraft ANKA III and the 5th generation manned fighter jet KAAN. In combat scenarios, the KAAN pilot does not enter high-risk zones directly. Instead, ANKA III is sent ahead, acting like an assassin to blind or destroy dangerous radar and air defense systems. This opens a safe airspace where KAAN can perform fast and agile maneuvers. Once the threat is neutralized, the pilot of KAAN delivers the required destruction using heavy munitions. The integration of these duo creates an almost deadly and unbeatable level of destruction power, while the operation itself is carried out with surgical precision. To understand the physical impact of this doctrine on the opposing side, imagine yourself for a moment as the operator in the enemy air defense system. 4. ANKA III deep strike operations. When describing ANKA III throughout its technical capabilities, it's an unmanned combat aircraft with a payload capacity ranging between 1,200 and 1,600 kilograms, capable of staying airborne for up to 10 hours. It carries high destruction precision strike weapon systems, such as Tolun, TUR-82 and SOM-J, all stored internally to avoid radar detection. It's equipped with an advanced Aselsan EASA radar system and possesses an almost unbelievable range of 3,000 kilometers, flying at speeds close to the speed of sound. One of the most critical features here is the 3,000 kilometer range. Even the F-35 has a range of only around 3,000 kilometers. ANKA III exceeds the range of the so-called 6th generation F-47, each of which reportedly cost around $300 million, with an operational radius of 1,500 kilometers. ANKA III offers remarkable strategic range. Moreover, it's already well known that Turkey maintains military bases in countries such as Somalia and Libya. In potential conflict scenario, this unmanned combat aircraft could conduct precision strikes across nearly the entire Middle East, significantly strengthening Turkey's geopolitical leverage. For 2026, the Ankara government has stated in the invention to have at least 50 ANKA III aircraft in its inventory. The advantages and the limitations of unmanned combat aircraft compared to managed fighter jets are likely to force states to make strategic choice in the future. However, one fact remains clear: when a manned aircraft is lost or or when extreme G-force maneuvers are required. Unmanned systems will always have the advantages. With the Turkey ordering 50 or more ANKA III units, the government has also announced that development phases for ANKA IV have already begun. It has been stated that the cruise speed of ANKA IV will be at least twice of ANKA III. Considering Turkey's background as a global leader in unmanned combat warfare, it would not be unreasonable to suggest that this technology may reshape both modern warfare doctrine and Middle Eastern geopolitics. See you in the next video featuring another incredible design. Thank you for listening.